So as you all know, it wasn't a Republican that spearheaded the effort to kill net neutrality in California, which, if passed, would have been the strongest set of protections for net neutrality in the country. It was actually a Democrat. This Democrat in particular, Miguel Santiago. And the reason why he decided to kill net neutrality, unilaterally so, mind you, was because AT&T lobbied for him to do this. They were his fifth largest contributor, and they didn't want this law to pass. So what did he do? He killed it. Now, after he decided to single-handedly be the one person that gutted Scott Wiener's net neutrality bill, after receiving some criticism, he decided to do a little bit of backtracking, and he proclaimed that net neutrality lives. So now he's reportedly working on reviving their net neutrality bill with Scott Wiener. But the problem is that, look, he's funded by AT&T. He's already been bought off. He's a sellout. And if he's already taken this much money from AT&T, we can't trust him. We just can't. The only way you can assure residents in California that they will get the net neutrality bill that basically they were promised, that Scott Wiener's been working on for months, is if you vote this guy out of office this November. And luckily, Miguel Santiago actually has an opponent running against him. And that individual's name is Kevin Jang. And he's an unequivocal supporter of net neutrality, and specifically Scott Wiener's net neutrality bill. And on Twitter, he states clearly, "My name is Kevin Jang, and I'm running against Miguel Santiago to represent all of Assembly District 53. If elected, I will support net neutrality, not cut it apart. Original version." Now, he also asked Miguel Santiago the same question we were all asking before we learned just how much money he took from AT&T. He states, "Seriously, what's wrong with you?" Now, when you go to his website, you literally can't miss his stance on net neutrality because it's the first thing that pops up. It's front and center. And the good news is that Kevin Jang isn't just a good candidate because of his stance on net neutrality, but he's actually seemingly progressive. So he supports Medicare for all, he supports tuition-free public college. So if you live in District 53, this is your chance to vote this guy out of office. He killed net neutrality. Now you get to kill his career. Vote him out of office. And look, I think that Kevin Jang can win. Will it be difficult? Absolutely. You can tell this is a very small grassroots campaign. But if Kevin makes this a referendum on net neutrality, I think that voters in that district will know that they've got to go with Kevin Jang and kick Miguel Santiago out. And imagine how powerful a message that would send to lawmakers across the country who, like Santiago, are funded by AT&T, Verizon, or Comcast. If they saw how Miguel lost his job after he killed net neutrality, well, that would drastically improve the chances of net neutrality passing in other states if lawmakers are worried that they'd lose their jobs if they go against it. So if you really want to save net neutrality, then you've got to sign up and do what you can to phone bank and canvass for Kevin Jang and get him elected and defeat Miguel Santiago. Make this a referendum on net neutrality. Go to individuals within that district and let them know where America stands on this issue. We overwhelmingly support net neutrality. This is a bipartisan issue. So Kevin has this unique opportunity to where he doesn't just have to rely on progressives. He can rely on Republicans who overwhelmingly also support net neutrality. So if we kick this corporate puppet out of office, think of how powerful a message that would send to not just other lawmakers, but lobbyists for AT&T, Comcast, and Verizon who think they can buy politicians and get away with it. So, in the coming weeks, I will be reaching out to Kevin Jang. Hopefully, he will come on the program and tell us about his campaign. This isn't just about California. If you don't live in California, like me, I live in Oregon, we have to make sure that we fight for net neutrality. If California passes the strongest net neutrality protection in the country, that could set a new standard across the country. It could, galvanize other states to follow their lead. So we've got to do this. It's not just about California, and it's, I'm not just focusing on it because I'm playing favorites with California. I mean, certainly it's important because they have a very high population and they're the world's 6th largest economy, so there's a lot of people there. But this is about net neutrality for everyone, because really in politics, you'll find that, we operate on momentum a lot of the times, and specifically when it comes to these statewide issues, there's something known as the domino effect. When one state passes a particular law, well, other states might soon follow suit. I mean, look at marijuana. When Washington and Colorado voted to legalize cannabis, just 2 years later, Oregon and Alaska voted to legalize cannabis. When Washington voted to pass net neutrality, Oregon voted to pass net neutrality. California was on its way to do it until this shill decided to kill it for everyone and ruin it for everyone. So look, we've got to do this. It's going to be tough. Miguel Santiago is an incumbent, and incumbents always have the advantage. But if you care about net neutrality, you've got to give it a shot. Support Kevin Jiang and get this shill out of office.
Support this podcast by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Humanist Report.